This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(8:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Danushka Madhavala and read by Lavan Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. Proceedings of the Parliament will recommence tomorrow. The Asia Price Index of the Colombo Stock Exchange reached its all-time high index tally today. The number of coronavirus patients reported from the prisons cluster reduces. Parents can submit their online appeals for the Grade 5 scholarship examination from the 15th of next month. Sri Lanka is ready to reopen the airports for foreign tourists from Thursday. And in news overseas, UK's vaccination program expands to cover over 70s. Those are the headlines, and now more to the details of the local news. Proceedings of the Parliament will recommence tomorrow and the day after in accordance with the health guidelines given by the health authorities following the 3 members of the Parliament being infected with COVID-19 virus. This decision was taken at a meeting of the Committee on the Parliamentary Business held under the leadership of Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena. Secretary-General of Parliament Dhammika Dasanayake said that all proceedings of the Parliament will be conducted under strict health guidelines. Commissioner of Prisons Chandana Ekanayake says that the number of COVID-19 patients reported from the prisons is reducing. Only 2 patients have been reported from the prisons today. 1 officer is also among them. 218 COVID-imprisoned patients are undergoing treatments at present. The total number of the prison cluster is at 413 at present. The Education Ministry says that they have decided to accept appeals for Grade 5 scholarship examination only through an online platform. The Ministry has taken measures to submit appeals from the 15th of next month. Anyone can submit the appeal through moe.gov.lk website for a month's period until the 15th of March. 330 more persons were tested positive for the coronavirus today in Sri Lanka. The total count of COVID-19 cases reported in Sri Lanka reached 53,408. Sources say that 332 of the new cases are close contacts of the Paliagoda fish market cluster. Health Ministry says that 45,820 of the confirmed patients have made complete recovery from the virus. However, 7,324 active cases are still under medical care at selected hospitals and treatment centers across the country. The number of coronavirus deaths in Sri Lanka is registered as 264. The National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 Outbreaks says that 8 persons have tested positive for the novel coronavirus at the Ministry of Health. Meanwhile, it has been reported that none of the staff members of Minister Vasudevan Nayakara's office has tested positive for the virus. According to the Johns Hopkins University, amid the rise in COVID-19 infections across the globe, over 95 million people have been infected with the virus until today. The total case count reached 95,003,533 with 2,029,938 deaths. GHU data also shows that the virus is surging in many regions and areas of the 191 countries. The total number of COVID-19 cases in the United States topped 23,928,643 as of today, while the death toll climbed to 397,532. Amid the mass vaccination program, the US has registered 22,385,975 cases with 374,072 fatalities as of Monday morning. Brazil, which remains the second worst hit country in number of deaths, has so far registered almost 8.5 million COVID-19 cases and nearly 209,847 deaths. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
And we continue with more local news. Director of the Health Promotions Bureau, Dr. Palithe Karunapama, says that the government will only provide high-quality vaccines for the people of this country. Addressing a media briefing held in Colombo today, he said that necessary arrangements are being conducted to bring them to the country. Health Minister will issue a statement in this regard in the coming days. The commission appointed to investigate the virus disease among cattle will submit its report tomorrow. The disease is reported from 14 districts. State Minister D.B. Herath said that the disease has been identified at present. Special audit report on the storage and distribution of petroleum in Sri Lanka will be taken into discussion at the COPE committee meeting tomorrow. Chairman of the Committee on Public Enterprise, Charitha Herath, said that several officials of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation have been given notice to be present before the committee to discuss several matters regarding the distribution of petroleum in Sri Lanka. The committee will meet according to the strict health guidelines. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. Proceedings of the Parliament will recommence tomorrow. The All Share Price Index of the Colombo Stock Exchange reached its all-time high index tally today. The number of coronavirus patients reported from the prisons cluster reduces. Parents can submit their online appeals for the Grade 5 scholarship examination from the 15th of next month. Sri Lanka is ready to reopen the airports for foreign tourists from Thursday. And that was the local news.
Darling, our daughter has top O-level results. Do you know what this means?
Yes, just 3 years and she'll be going abroad for her degree.
For which we'll need a bank loan.
But is a normal loan the smartest option?
What else?
The smartest way is to start an HDFC Smart Goals account.
Let your child begin their degree with no delays. Start an HDFC Smart Goals account. Call 2356 888.
Honey, you're so smart.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vedha Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedha Mahatmya.
The main news story for tonight, Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga says that Sri Lanka is reopening its airports for foreign tourists from January 21st. It is expected to bring a maximum of 2,500 travellers to the country per day. He emphasized that every possible step has been taken to prevent the spread of COVID-19 from the tourists arriving to the community and vice versa. Speaking to the heads of media organizations today, he said that relevant health guidelines have been prepared and issued to all stakeholders. He said that locals will be allowed to the safe and secure certified level 1 hotels, and the places where tourists can travel within the bio bubble have already been identified. Sri Lanka Tourism has published safety protocols to be followed by the tourism industry stakeholders and visitors. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedha Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And in Washington tonight, Secretary to the State Ministry of Education Reforms, Dr. Upali Sedira, says that a new curriculum based on self-study will be introduced to students studying in grades 6 and 10 in the year 2023. He said the model will be designed to make it easier for the children to study at home even when schools are closed during emergencies such as the current COVID-19 pandemic. Addressing a function held at Mahamaya College, Kandy, he said that instead of heavy books with a large number of pages, children will receive books of about 20 pages in size under this program and will be given the opportunity to learn compulsory subjects as well as subjects of their choice. And that came to you in Watch Light.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Headlines of the world news. UK's vaccination program expands to cover over 70s. Australia unlikely to fully reopen border in the year 2021. Thousands protest in Amsterdam against Dutch coronavirus lockdown. Those are the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the world news. Millions of people in the UK aged 70 and above and those clinically extremely vulnerable to the coronavirus will be invited to get their vaccination as the National Health Service expands the rollout of the vaccines to the next priority group from today. The NHS has so far been working to vaccinate the 2 priority cohorts recommended by the Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunisation, which are care home residents and staffs, those aged 80 and over, and the frontline health and care staff. Australia is unlikely to fully open its borders in the year 2021, even if most of the population gets vaccinated in the year as planned, says a senior health official. The comments dampen hopes raised by the airlines that travel to and from the country could resume as early as July. Department of Health Secretary Brendan Murphy made this prediction after being asked about the coronavirus escalations in other nations. Dr. Murphy spearheads Australia's early action to close its borders last March. Citizens, permanent residents, and those with exemptions are allowed to enter Australia if they complete a 14-day hotel quarantine at their own expense. Dutch riot police used water cannon to disperse around 2,000 people at an unauthorized protest in Amsterdam against a national lockdown to slow the spread of coronavirus. The protesters gathered on a square in front of Rijksmuseum and Van Gogh Museum art galleries carrying signs. None wore masks, which are not mandatory outdoors, and few respected social distancing rules, prompting the authorities to disperse the crowd due to health concerns, the Amsterdam authorities said in a statement. And to conclude the world news, the headlines once again. UK's vaccination program expands to cover over 70s. Australia unlikely to fully reopen border in the year 2021. Thousands protest in Amsterdam against Dutch coronavirus lockdown. And that was the world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In development news, the Ministry of Tourism says that all preparations are in place to reopen the country to tourists on the 21st of this month. Speaking at a discussion at the Ministry of Media today, Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said that all steps to prevent the coronavirus spreading from tourists to locals and from locals to tourists have been taken. The minister said around 1,500 individuals have visited Sri Lanka from Ukraine as a part of the pilot project to reopen the country since the 26th of December, with the group having helped generate an income of 420 million rupees. The minister said shortcomings that were identified during the pilot project will be rectified prior to officially opening the country on Thursday. With that, we move on to sports news. Chasing 328 to win, India were 4 for no loss in their second innings when the rain forced an early stumps on the day 4 of the 4th test against Australia in Brisbane today. India had dismissed Australia for 294 in the second innings to set themselves a target of 328, but the last session could not be completed as rain played spoil sport. Rohit Sharma and Shubham Gill were at the crease, with India still needing 324 when the rain caused the halt. After capturing 4 and 3 wickets respectively in the first 2 seasons, Indian bowlers led by Mohammad Siraj and Shardul Thakur returned to pick up the remaining 3 wickets after tea. Siraj claimed 5 wickets while Thakur took 4 and spinner Washington Sundar helped 1. Steve Smith was the top batsman for Australia as he scored 55 while opener David Warner hit 48 at the top. That was the sports news, and we move on to business news. Sri Lanka can commence charter flights to Myanmar from mid-2021 in the post-COVID-19 phase, Sri Lankan Airlines regional manager Mohan Meegola said at a meeting organized by the Foreign Ministry. The meeting was chaired by the Foreign Secretary, Admiral Professor Janath Kolambage, to discuss the possibility of establishing air connectivity with Myanmar. Participating at the meeting virtually, Sri Lanka's ambassador to Myanmar, Professor Nalin De Silva, said that air connectivity between Sri Lanka and Myanmar has been discussed discussed for a long time due to the significant Buddhist cultural connectivity between the two countries. He further said that around 300 Buddhist bhikkhus are presently studying in Sri Lanka and that there are many Sri Lankan bhikkhus and delegations visiting Myanmar for meditation and other religious purposes. He also stated that there is immense potential for medical tourism from Myanmar. That was the business news, and economic news follows.
Economic news, courtesy of
Business Deals, now easy. It just takes a few taps only. Anytime, get it done, all connected. Best discounts with real time. LOLC Real Time. Now download LOLC Finance Real Time app for your LOLC savings account. Attractive interest rates, transactions anytime, anywhere with a zero cost and no benefits.
And in economic news, the all-share price index of the Colombo Stock Exchange today reached its all-time high index tally. The ASBI closed on the 10th trading day of the year 2021 on 7,922.66 points. The previous highest points figure recorded was 7,811.8 points on the 14th of February 2011. The ASBI gained 188.09 points today, recording the 8th highest points in gain in Sri Lanka Colombo Stock Exchange 35-year-old history. That was the economic news and the weather report to conclude.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah.
When will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And finally, in weather report, the Met Department says showers will occur at times in the north central, eastern, central and over provinces, and fairly heavy falls, about 50 millimeters, can be expected at some places in the Mathale and Polonnaruwa districts. A few showers can be expected in the northern province. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Galle, Mathura and Kurunegala districts. Fairly heavy falls, about 75 millimeters, can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamuwa province and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Before we conclude this bulletin of news, let's get back to the headlines once again. Proceedings of the Parliament will recommence tomorrow. The all-share price index of the Colombo Stock Exchange reached its all-time high index tally today. The number of coronavirus patients reported from the prisons cluster reduces. Parents can submit their online appeals for Grade 5 scholarship examination from the 15th of next month. Sri Lanka is ready to reopen the airports for foreign tourists from Thursday. And in news overseas, UK's vaccination program expands to cover over 70s. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news. And now it's back to your Monday evening host and my good friend Chandima to keep you entertained.